giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm and Boston Scientific, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! It is Thursday, December 8th. Going to talk about these Cowboys against these Texans. We'll mention a little bit of their defensive players. Nothing too crazy. But the Cowboys could be getting back two offensive players that could help them out right now. Not like that other dude. Right now. So that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of today's show. And we're going to dive into it. Not just gloss over. We're actually going to dive into how these two guys could help this offense. We'll detail it, all right? And then we'll look at the injury report. There is a specific player that did not practice yesterday that I think was interesting. This illness is still going around. Not sure what the hell is going on down here in Dallas. Maybe it's around the country. Maybe it's just regular sickness. But I will say this. Living in Texas, especially right now, it ain't that cold. So I don't know if it's a cold going around or whatnot, but it was just 70-something degrees the last 2 days. It really hasn't gotten below 50. So it's just Texas is strange. Texas is, listen, I'm not complaining at all. Coming from Pennsylvania, where it's, temperature right now is probably in the 30s or something like that. Probably freezing up there. So I'm cool. I'm cool with being down here, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe, people think it's okay. They're going out in shorts and the next day is 50. They get cold. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I do know I grew up in PA where a certain group of people, they wear shorts all year round, so it doesn't really matter. It seems to bother them. You see who's getting sick, right? Nah, I'm just playing. Brian Anger got sick, so I can't say it's just them. But yeah, man, it's real interesting down here. But what's good, Bomb Squad? Appreciate y'all for being here.
Bomb Squad!
Said it's the flu. I guess it's the flu, man. But they need to get this under control because the Cowboys actually, lost a couple players over the last 3 weeks on game day. So hopefully for this one particular player, that does not happen because this is the prime opportunity for him. So let's go ahead, get into this roundup and talk about that right off the bat.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, they do it! Hey, oh, they do it!
Lee know exactly what I'm talking about. Shout out to my guy Tingley. He probably listening right now. His last name is Tingley. We called him Tingley in high school. There's a meme that goes around in PA. It's that time of year, and it's this white kid in shorts and a book bag walking to school with flip-flops on, and it's a whole bunch of snow just around him. That was Tingley. It could be 10 degrees. He's wearing shorts, and he's wearing flip-flops, and I just don't understand it. Are y'all immune to the cold? I don't get it. I digress. Wednesday's practice report. Bohanna came back, which is great because Hankins was out. Now, this is a non-injury personal. I'm not sure if they're going to dive into what it is. Maybe I'm not saying something similar to Terrence Steele, who played through something that was going on with his family, but in the sense of he's not sick anymore. He's not going through anything from a physical standpoint. He just didn't practice. So Hankins played last week. I thought he played really well. I can't wait to see how this season finishes, the regular season, because while Hankins isn't the big name, He is the big body, right? That the Cowboys could have got at the trade deadline. I personally think the acquisition has been great. And now getting Bohanna back, those two haven't played a lot together. I want to say they played like one game for real. So I'm really interested to see Quentin Bohanna and Hankins on the field together, or, subbing in and out for each other, because Hankins is really the only true one tech when Bohanna's not there. Now you get both of those guys. Maybe that helps your run defense even more. So hopefully he's okay and he's able to suit up. J-Ron was limited with the shoulder. He's always probably going to be the rest of the year. Same for DeMarcus Lawrence with his foot. But Sam Williams missed practice again with an illness. He did play, though, last week. And then Kelvin Joseph missed practice with an illness. And he actually came out of a game because of it, I think, against the Minnesota Vikings. Not a good time, right? Not good timing for Kelvin Joseph to miss practice. He could probably miss yesterday's practice and today's, and then suit up Friday and Saturday and play. So long ways to go till you get to Sunday, but it's something to keep an eye on because this is a prime opportunity. I do think if Kelvin Joseph plays, I think he will play well because this isn't an offense that really can do damage on the outside. So I would love to get him suited and booted for this game, and it could be a confidence game, and you never know where that could take you. I think he needs this. He needs these reps, and he needs this confidence. So hopefully he's able to go here, because I think he will play well against this team without a doubt. This isn't Aaron Rodgers over there throwing a rock. So let's see what happens. Coach McCarthy came out, talked about another player who's not on the injury report because he's not yet called up. But would not shock me if James Washington suits up this week. You still got time to do it. I think they got till Friday. Coach McCarthy said clearly he's physically ready. We'll give James a lot more work today. And that was on Wednesday. There's a couple words there. Clearly and a lot. If he's clearly physically ready and they're going to give him a lot more work, I have a hard time believing James Washington will not suit up this week. Now, this isn't a report. I didn't talk to nobody down there or nothing. Nope. I'm just going off of what Coach is saying. I'm going off of what James said about 3-4 weeks ago. James said, listen, I'm ready. I'm just waiting for the call up. I think what the Cowboys did was say, just hold tight, James. You're also a luxury, not a necessity. The other guy that was a luxury and not a necessity holds a bit of a higher priority in the pecking order, and that guy was Odell Beckham. So I think they wanted to wait till Odell came in, see what that knee looks like, see if he could play over the next 3 weeks or so. Odell came in. They don't like what they saw. He won't be ready till the postseason, maybe. We dropped, matter of fact, make sure I go listen. Me and Jesse Alley talked about this more in depth. I didn't even realize, apparently they're talking about he might not even be ready to the Super Bowl. And that's an if. So neither here nor there. Now that they know what it is with Odell Beckham, and James is physically ready, it's all about the mental. And if he's had time to be in that playbook, and if he's had, 2 weeks now, it's been roughly 2 weeks, getting some practice reps in with Dak, I say, why not? Why not suit him up and see what he has? And we'll dive into James a little bit more here. I want to hear y'all thoughts as well. Make sure y'all call in. And then finally, Tyron Smith. This comes from Michael Gelkin. He tweeted out, Tyron Smith didn't just return to practice Wednesday. He turned heads doing it. Quote from one of the players, "It's ridiculous how somebody could take that many months off and not lose a beat at all. His punch is the same. He's pissing guys off already, going 100%. And that's kind of where I want to start. And we're going to go back to James. Y'all just hold tight. We'll go back to James. We ask this question probably once every 2 or so weeks once the season started, and it was around about Tyron Smith and what to do with Tyron, what to do with Tyler. We don't have to ask that question anymore because they already gave us the answer. Tyron Smith is going to be playing left tackle when he returns. Period. The last time the Cowboys and the Cowboys fans saw Tyron Smith, let me see if I can pull this up here. It was again, I'm not trying to pull up no PTSD. This may be rough to see in the sense of it reminds you of what happened. But the last time we saw Tyron Smith, it was against the 49ers in what was a forgetful day for that entire offense. For Tyron specifically, he had, uncharacteristic moments in that game, and you could tell he was playing hurt. Remember, that was the first game back for Tyron Smith. Actually, I think it was Arizona. Arizona was the first game back. Then they rested him against Philly. Then he came back and played against the Niners. He was not at the top of his physical shape, and I don't think it was a good draw for that offensive line in general that wasn't playing well together. I don't want to say forgetful game for Tyron, but for his standards, maybe, for sure. He did not play his best in that game. But something I was thinking about, when Tyron Smith was getting banged up throughout his career, usually he missed 3 games, come back, miss a game, come back. It was always in and out, something going on throughout the weeks. Something similar happened to Dak Prescott earlier this year that makes me wonder if it could have a similar effect to Tyron Smith. Dak missed multiple games in season for the first time in his career, and I mean 5 games. And mentally, physically, obviously it helped him because he got a chance to recover. Mentally, he got a chance to look at the game differently. Now, Tyron's been around before. He's missed games before. This isn't new. But this is the first time Tyron Smith will have missed this much time to start the season and then come back. I'm just talking to y'all right now, thinking out loud. There's 2 questions I guess I'm going to ask you. I do have one question I really want to ask you. This one maybe is rhetorical. I don't know. I get it. He's injury prone. There's no getting around that. Tyron Smith is injury prone. But is there something to, okay, he got dinged up at training camp and his body didn't have to take on any wear and tear as he recovered over the next 4 months. August, he got hurt, I think late August. So September, October, November. So the next 3 months is some change, about 3.5 months. Is there something to his body being able to rest up for 3.5 months during the season, during a time of his career where it's usually been banged up over 13 seasons or whatever it's been? And now he can say, all right, I just got to ramp this thing up for a month and a half. Is there something to it? Am I trying to talk myself into this? But I don't know, man. Cowboys Nation, am I thinking too deep on this one? But I think there may be something to Tyron Smith resting for 3.5 months, not getting banged up anything, and then be able to just go for just give me, I just need 7 games or whatever it's going to be, 6 games. We've seen Tyron play 6 straight games before. This looks like he hasn't done that. Now, if Tyron get injured in preseason next year, whatever, who cares? Man, I'm talking myself into it. I think there might be something to it. Nick said you get a fresh Tyron. King Element said, nah, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually when Tyron gets banged up, it's after, training camp, and he's playing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, and then boom, he gets banged up. Now he's in and out. He's coming back. He's already got, no one's healthy at this point anyway. So he's got a bunch of injuries he's dealing with, and now he has to deal with the actual one that took him out. He's dealing with nothing. I know he was healthy in preseason and he got hurt. He's healthy, and he doesn't have all this wear and tear on his body throughout the season. I think there might be something to it, man. Might be something to it. And then my next question is, what is your confidence level in Tyron being an asset and improving this offensive line? What is your confidence level? 1 to 10. 1 to 10 here. I'm bullish on this one. I'm at about a 7. And that could shit, Scott, that's not high. I got to give myself some leeway here. This is still an injury prone guy, but I'm looking at it, a healthy Tyron Smith plugged in at left tackle and moving Tyron Smith into left guard. So it's a 2-for-1 for me. I feel good about that. I feel good that this will improve the offensive line, which will then improve this offense in general. So I'm at a 7, and that could be low. Maybe 7.5, but I got 7. Let's read some out here. Appreciate you, is it Dizo 88? Oozin, Marcus. Marcus says 8. Lance got a 10. Jose 8. Suge 7. Aaron 8. Bands 8. I like it. Jake the Great 100. Prince got an 8. Gregory got a 7. Swain 8. Brian 7. Will got a 9. CG said a 15 out of 10. I feel you. Toxic asks, how many games do I think Tyron will realistically play? So I don't think he's going to suit up this week. So we got 5 games left, and I think next week you have to suit him up, right? Like you got to get him some reps before you go against Philly. They have a really good pass rush. So I'm going to say the rest of the season. You know, what is that, 4 games? That's 4 games, and then you get the playoffs, and now it's just game to game. So I can't really predict how many games you're going to get to the playoffs. So at least you'll get 1 more game. So I would say 5 games plus whatever, 6 if you get to the next round, 7. I think Tyron can finish this season. I do. I've seen Tyron Smith play 7 consecutive games before. I think he can do that. Frankie says 5. Sean, okay, now we're getting to the other side of things. So Frankie and Sean don't believe he can really improve this offensive line. 9 says Flo. Wes says 10. 10 says King Element. Not so much because of him, just because you moved Tyler Smith to guard. So you don't think Tyron makes a difference at left tackle? Peasy, this is strange. So he says, so weird having Tyron and Jason Peters on the same team. Isn't that crazy? Frankie says 5. I think I already got you on that one. L says 4 to 5. I need to see it consistently. So only a handful of y'all are down on Tyron Smith coming back. Most people seem to be, okay, now we're getting to the middle here. DJ Trip says 6. So we're starting to even out a little bit more here. But for the most part, most people think that Tyron Smith can help this offensive line. Mel must have just jumped in here. We are rating. The question was, what is your confidence level in Tyron being an asset and improving the offensive line in his return? 1 through 10. Your confidence level in Tyron being an asset and improving the offensive line. Smoke 14, appreciate the super chat.
Super chat.
He says, Sky, it's like how did you feel about our O-line at the start of the season? Now look at it and we getting the best left tackle in the league back. Let's stop it. Yeah, I mean that plays a factor, right? I don't know how many people are trying to confirm their priors here. I'm not one. You know, I definitely was concerned about the offensive line when Tyron went down, but then the offensive line showed that they are a phenomenal run blocking unit, and they can be a dirty, get gritty pass blocking unit. It's not a good one, but they can get it done. I would love to go look at this stat for Dak. What is his time to throw this year? I wonder if it's higher than usual because they're 32nd in pass block win rate this year. They've never been that low. But Mel, you got one for me? So you said you doubt he makes it to week 17. So what's your number here? 5. Okay. So it's starting to even out a little bit. Maybe I should have added a healthy Tyron Smith. Man. Besides health, it's insane to question if guarantee Hall of Famer's effectiveness. This is true. And this is true. Maybe it's an obvious answer, right? If Tyron Smith is healthy, I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about adding one of the best left tackles in the league into an offensive line that is struggling against pass rush consistently, and you kind of have a trickle-down effect. But I think most people's concern would be, do they think that he's even going to play long? Do they think he makes it past a week or two? That's what it seems like. A lot of people just don't believe that he's going to play long. That's fair. And that is totally fair. All right, before we get to James, let's jump into these phone lines real quick. Postal Nation Hotline presented by the Cochran Firm. Make sure y'all check out the Cochran Firm if you have, not check out, give a call to the Cochran Firm if you have any questions or concerns legally and you are in the DFW area, Brian and Larry will help you out. They've been helping out folks, fighting for folks here in the DFW area since 2005. Give them a call at 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com. Mr. Ronnie, good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning. God bless you and the family.
Thank you, sir.
Like always. I just got to say one thing like you were saying. I think Tyron, if he's healthy, he can really help us. And I wanted to ask you a question real quick. Do you think that corner, because I really don't follow him, that corner that they picked up from Minnesota, I was looking a little bit of on the tapes. He seemed like he's a big corner. You think he's an upgrade? Then Brown is a better player?
No, I think they're different players. I think Anthony Brown has historically been playing on the outside in the system, and I think that Mackenzie Alexander is going to play on the interior. I must say interior, but on the inside, in the slot. So it's hard for me to say a guy that nobody wanted is better than a guy who has been on 2 top 10 defenses over the last 2 years. So can't really go that far.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because I never heard of him because he's a big corner though. He's a big corner.
I thought he was only like 5'11", but he's a slot guy, so I think it helps you out depth wise in the slot, and we'll see.
Okay, well, have a good one. God bless you in the show like always, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Miss Ronnie. Appreciate you. Let's get the B Bird. What's good, OG?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about yourself today, Scott?
I'm doing good, man.
Hey, so I called about something else, but I'll comment on Tyron Smith. I think anytime you can add talent, you do that.
Yeah.
And he's coming back. It can only be a plus. I mean, it can't be a minus. One of the things about him getting hurt earlier in the year is that it allowed us to get Jason Peters, which we wouldn't have had. But somebody did mention it before. But if Tyron comes back 90-95% of himself, and then you move Tyler Smith to left guard, you've really upgraded that side of the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And if he doesn't come back, then we even have to consider Jason Peters coming in at the left tackle and still keeping Tyler Smith at left guard. And we'll just see. We're really in a great position with our offensive line. You got to understand what we're arguing about or debating about. We got a lot of players. We got teams that are missing 3 or 4 linemen. So we're really in a great position where we're all with that.
Before you move on from that,
yeah.
B-Bird, I hope I don't mess up your thought process here. But
No
you know
problem.
what else I was thinking? The reason why I'm also high on this, and it's a positive to Tyler Smith and Jason Peters. If he gets hurt, so what? Because we know that Jason Peters and Tyler Smith can handle left tackle and left guard duties. So to me, it's like, hey, even if I only get 3 games out of Tyron, even if I only get 2 or 5, whatever, right? Like, I know I'm probably going to get the best of Tyron Smith, and then if he gets hurt, cool. We go back to what's been working and got you to 9-5 and one of the best, or 9-3 and one of the best offenses in the NFL. So maybe that's another thing that got me excited about getting the Tyron Smith back. He's going to be healthy. For how long? Who knows? But I know we're going to be an improvement because when he's on the field and he's, healthy, he's a really good player.
And it's not a negative to this situation. That's why, like, when people put in low numbers, it's not a negative anywhere. If it doesn't work out, then you still are going, like you said, the offensive line that has gotten us to 9-3 is still intact. I was calling because and I called early because I didn't want to derail your conversation. We talked about Jalen Tolbert yesterday, and I didn't get an opportunity to get in. I never had really high hopes for him. It's not to say that I don't think he could become a player, but I think that the front office kind of threw him under the bus. And what I mean by that is, in March, we released Amari Cooper, okay? And they got a lot of backlash from that.
Yep.
So in April, when we drafted Jalen, it was the, hey, this is Dak Prescott worked out with him. They built the hopes up that this guy was going to be a day one impact. When I think what they were trying to do is they was trying to deflect or cover themselves from the Amari Cooper debacle, to be honest with you. So they kind of put him up as, oh, no, don't worry about Amari Cooper. We got this guy, and Dak's been working with him, and they've been going off to train in Orlando or wherever it is going and all this. And so more likely than not, fans got like, okay, yeah, we're going to be great. We're going to replace Amari Cooper with this guy, and then we'll have CD, Gallup and Tolbert, and we'll just keep on going. and it didn't work out that way. So I think what they did is they put unrealistic expectations on Jalen Tolbert, and I think it was really just to cover themselves in that. I think that the Joneses are great at PR. They've been in this business for a long time. They understand that I could put some things out there just to make the narrative what I want it to be. And so Jalen Tolbert is pretty much a third-round draft pick from South Alabama, not a Power 5 school. And you got to give that guy time to develop, man. And so everybody's looking at him like he's a bust. But if you go look at the other third round or other wide receivers drafted, they're not doing that well at this point right now either. I just think that they did him a disservice, raising the expectations from a third-round guy from South Alabama. Give him a couple of years, man, and then we can say that if this guy's not good or not. I never bought into it. I'm going to be honest with you, that he was going to be a replacement for a guy with experience, a route running of Amari Cooper. And that's all I had to say, man. I want to just comment on that, and I'm going to continue to listen to your show offline.
Appreciate you, B-Bird. Yeah,
all right,
it's rough to call him a rookie third-round pick a bust. It's too early, way too early for that. That's a fair assessment if you believe that they're putting those expectations on him to come in and replace Amari. That's very high. I think the trickle down was Lamb replaces Amari, Gallup replaces Lamb, and now we see if Jalen Tolbert and James Washington can replace Noah Brown Sed Wilson / Noah Brown. In reality, Noah Brown was replacing Sed, but he really isn't replacing Sed. It's different. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm disappointed because I was hoping that he could have some sort of role in this offense in the sense of maybe stretching the field, being the Sed Wilson of the offense. But I'm not down on him in the sense of he's a bust. Like, next year he may be a part of this offense more because Noah Brown probably won't be here. Maybe they draft a receiver too. That's possible, but. Yeah, there were high expectations. Anytime you get drafted by the Cowboys, right, there's high expectations, especially after a season where they got rid of Amari Cooper and they took you in the top 3 rounds. But, man, there's so many good receivers that don't come in right away and just kill it. Look at the offense he's in as well, number one. Comes from South Alabama. I had a conversation with Jesse. He was talking about kind of the nuances of wide receiver and the difference, coming from college into the pros. And listen, you heard what Coach said yesterday when we talked about Kelvin Joseph, about how to be a pro and whatnot. Michael Gallup. I mean, I'm not saying they're the same because Michael Gallup eventually, he got on in his rookie year. But Michael Gallup literally said, I say it all the time, y'all, Allen Hurns had to really hone in on him and teach him how to be a professional wide receiver. And it didn't click for him until late in the season. So, man, Jalen Tolbert takes some time. We'll see. Now, next year, if he ain't getting on the field next year, then it's time to say, what's going on? Speaking of wide receivers, let me see if I got this James Washington situation pulled up here. I think I do. Yes, indeed, I do. James Washington, kind of similar question to Tyron Smith. I will get to you guys. I'll get to that question here in a second. James Washington is back at practice, and then we kind of talked about it at the top of the show. Here's a timeline on my James Washington, how I felt around James Washington. Cowboys signed him. I said this is not a needle mover signing, but he could still have a pretty solid role on this team because he can be a decent wide receiver 3 or 4 in an offense that doesn't really lean on its receivers as much. They're going to likely lean on the ground. So I was very intrigued on what he could potentially do. James Washington gets here, he gets injured. Not good. Then the training camp comes, looking a bit boxy. Things don't look too smooth, and then he gets injured on the same day. And then he's like, oh, yeah, he's going to be out for 2 to 3 months. And it's like, all right, I'm over James Washington. Odell Beckham pops up. Saying, well, maybe Odell Beckham could be a thing. Now Odell Beckham is not a thing, and James Washington is back. So now we got to figure out, can James Washington contribute to this offense? So the question, confidence level 1 through 10 on James Washington having a real contribution to this offense. I think this is a tricky question because we're at week 14, and he hasn't even, he's now started to practice like a week ago, and we haven't seen him in a game. So really the question is, can his talent overcome the chemistry? There's talent there. You don't become the Biletnikoff Award winner with no talent. You know, you don't have the season that you had in Pittsburgh with a noodle-arm quarterback with no talent. I know some people think it's bum. I've heard that. The caller the other day said James Washington's a bum. That's going too far. I don't think James Washington's a bum. But we don't know what he's going to look like here, especially after no preseason, after no training camp, no practices, nothing. So 1 through 10, your confidence level on his contributions to this offense. I was pretty high on Tyron Smith. I'm going to stay in the middle here on James. And it's not because I don't believe in some of the things you're seeing on this tape here in his skill set. I think it's a combination of, obviously, can a guy coming off that injury, a receiver, I should say, can he just come in here in 4 or 5 weeks and have a significant role in an offense that's already humming? And if he's going to be a guy that, you don't need him for a few plays, are they even going to bother doing that with him? So I'm at a 5. And I'm at a 5 because I want to leave so much room to be excited if it does happen, right? Like if he comes out here and it's to the point where, hey, Sky, you should have said 9 or 10, I will be so damn hyped. Because I just don't have those expectations for James because I haven't seen it, right? And in an offense that relies on chemistry and things like that and timing and all that, I just haven't really seen it. See, with Tyron, I've seen it with Tyron. I know what Tyron is in this offense. I know when he's on the field, Tyron Smith is either an elite level player or a really good player or a good player. There is really no bad player in Tyron Smith. But I just don't know what James Washington is going to be in this offense, or if they're even going to say, let's throw him in there. Because everything is working. Now, Odell's different because you get a healthy Odell. Odell's talent level supersedes this guy's. So I'm at a 5. And that's not because I don't like James. I just don't know if it's worth messing up the things you got going on here for a guy who, let's be honest, isn't really going to move the needle here. Where are we at here? I had to scroll way back up. Here we go. 7 from Jared. Brian got 3. Wes got 7. 8 from Roberto. Aaron 3. Montgomery 3. Frankie 4. 7, 6 to midnight, 6.5. Lot of 5 and unders here, about midway point. Scotty got 7. I think 7 is about the highest I've seen here. Yep. 7 is the highest I've seen here. 7 for James, higher than Tyron because I think there's a big gap he can fill compared to Tyron over Tyler. What? That's interesting. So let's kind of talk about that one. I like that. So Sean says 7 because he thinks there's a higher gap. Scroll back over here. That he can fill compared to Tyron over Tyler. I don't think Tyler is that bad. We haven't got much from Brown or rest of receivers. Maybe in a traditional 11 personnel styled offense, there's something to that. But in this offense, I don't necessarily think there's a big gap between Noah and James Washington and what they're going to ask them to do. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll ask him to do more Randall Cobb things. Funny thing is, the way they're using CeeDee Lamb is how they use Randall Cobb up the seams and doing a lot of the slot stuff. So I don't know what I don't know yet. I don't know how Sean, I don't know what they're going to ask James Washington to do. If they're going to ask James Washington to do Noah Brown things, I'd actually argue the gap is favoring Noah. Because Noah's a much better blocker. Noah's a more grittier player. Noah's going to do the dirty things that James in his career, that's not what he does, you know. So that's an interesting take. In regards to Tyron, you said there's not much of a gap now. Now, sir, Tyler has been solid, and we're grading on a curve. He's been good for a rookie left tackle. But we're talking about if Tyron Smith is on the field, I mean, there is a gap, in my opinion, between him and anybody on this damn offensive line that plays tackle, right? Like, we're talking about Tyron Smith here. We ain't talking about Josh Ball going out that mother. But 6 for Lawrence, 6 for Reggie, 6 for MG or CG. Liam 5. 5 because I don't know what we have in Washington. Kind of similar. 6. Can he block on the run if no keep Noah? That's the thing, right? MP is I think that Noah's role is so defined here. It'll be rough for James to take him off the field because Noah's doing a damn good job in his role, but it's not really a receiving. It's not even in a receiving aspect. And then that's another good point. King Tyron gives you 2 upgrades. That's another good point. So you just think, Sean said, I just think that Washington might make a few more catches. Yeah, I mean, gotta go to him. Gotta go to him. I think Sean, my hold is that I don't know how they're going to use him. Right? Like, I've seen 13 weeks of what this offense is, and what I thought of James Washington coming into the season was, all right, I think he could be a pure slot guy for you, or he could do some outside things when they decide to move CeeDee Lamb in the slot, right? But now that I see this offense, I see they're not using a pure slot guy like that. They're using CeeDee Lamb as that slot guy and move around guy. And Noah Brown is doing some blocking things. So it's hard for me to envision him being an upgrade in this offense. Prior to the season, though, I probably would have been right with you. Did I miss a super? I think I did, but shout out to my guy, Chris. He just dropped one.
Super chat.
He says, we don't wipe those 304s, by the way. The CD and motion wrinkle they added reminds me of what the Niners did last year with Debo wrinkle. They elevated their offense last year. Excellent point. The other day, I said they had the final pieces on the board. I thought that was the final piece that the Cowboys needed to implement to make this offense as diverse as it needed to be and have all the I don't want to say bag of tricks, but all of the things you need, the little nuanced things you need to put in your bag, and you carry that bag everywhere you go for the rest of the season. That is who you are. No need to say, this week we're going to take that out. Nah, man, carry that with you. Carry that with you. All right, good stuff in the chat, man. Let's get back to the horns. We had 609 on hold. Let's get to you, 609. What's goody?
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are live.
Hey, what's up, Sky? How you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you? Let me turn you down. Here we go. What's up with you?
Sure, man. So I was on here yesterday, and somebody called and gave flowers to Mike McCarthy, and I'm going to do the same thing because I saw on Twitter for the first time, and I don't even know how long. I'm 21. First time I can remember, we had back-to-back 10-win seasons, and that's something impressive. Especially we didn't have Dak for 5-6 games, whatever it was. So now my question to you is, if we don't make a super deep playoff run, where do you think Mike McCarthy's job status lies? Like, let's say we lose wild card round. I doubt it happens. I don't think we lose wild card round. But if it does happen, is Mike McCarthy going to get fired? Or, if we make it to the championship game, we lose in a tight game, do we keep him? Do we lose him? We don't make the Super Bowl. Do you think a Super Bowl or bust?
Well,
we have leniency because we had back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, slow down, because when you get to the championship game, I think he's good, right? Like, you're not firing him. He did something that no coach has done for the Cowboys since '95. But
I agree.
But you losing a wild card round, I think there is a conversation that will likely be had.
For sure.
That I say conversation. I don't say you automatically like it's automatic, but I do think there's a conversation. Here's why it's a conversation, because you got to say, well, man, we did something that we haven't done since 95, 96. Back-to-back double-digit win seasons. Excuse me.
Yep.
Back-to-back double-digit win seasons, right? It hasn't happened for a long, long time. But in Dallas,
right,
especially in this year, in the NFC that is really not that deep, if you can't get out the wild card round, man, I think you do. You're not getting rid of a bunch of your best players. So what's the next thing to do? Is you get rid of some of the staff. So I think they'll look to shake something up. I don't know if they'll pull the trigger, but if it ain't Mike McCarthy, then somebody else got to take the axe. But McCarthy's a head coach. They already kind of put him, They put him out there after they lost to the 49ers. But I think it really was the way they lost, right? They came out, looked lackluster, didn't look prepared, didn't look confident.
Yeah.
And, all undisciplined.
Typical Cowboys.
Yeah. So if they come out and look like that, no brainer. But if they come out and it just happens to be a hard-fought 24-27 loss, maybe the conversation's different. But wild card loss, conversation. If you get to the NFC Championship game, automatic lock. He's returning.
Yeah. I mean, I think I agree with you. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I think we're gonna make a deep run here. I think we probably play Philly in a divisional round based off our seed number, and I think we beat Philly with or without Odell, or with or without James Washington, being super elite. So we'll probably play. If Minnesota wins, maybe them in the championship game. We played them in Minnesota already. See what happened there. So I ain't worried about New Minnesota or no Kirk Cousins in prime time. So. I think we'd be all right.
Yeah, that'd be an awesome scenario, right? You beat Brady week 1 or round 1, you get to Philly, you get that victory in Philly. It would kind of be reminiscent of the '90s when Cowboys would beat the 49ers in the championship game, and they'd be like, "All right, that was a Super Bowl."
That was it. Yeah.
So you beat Philly, like, all right, that was an NFC championship game. Now you go get the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Come on.
I mean, because just based off our standings, that's probably how it's going to be, because they're going to play the worst remaining seed.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably going to be us, because I don't think anybody behind us, like the Commanders, the Giants, they're not winning the playoff game. I mean, no disrespect to them, but they're not beating nobody. That'd be a fun
little 3 games there, man.
Be pretty crazy, man. All right, man. That's all I had to say. Hope you have a good day. All right.
Appreciate the call, man. Good call.
All right.
Interesting question. I think McCarthy is building trust and confidence with his front office. He has the media down pat. I think he has his locker room. The guys love him, but we've been here before. The guys love Jason Garrett too. Man, but it is a result-based business, or should be. And if you lose in the wild card round, I don't know how you don't have that conversation. As hard as that conversation may be, I'm just saying the conversation. It's a lock if he gets to the NFC Championship game. That's not even a thought. But if you lose in the wild card round with this team this year in this conference, yeah, I'm sitting down. I'm getting the coalition together, or whatever, the council together, and I'm saying, what do you think? What do we want to do here? There's a guy out there. Nah, I'm gonna leave it at that. DJ, what's goody, man?
Hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Oh, doing great. I'm doing my best to try and stay focused and keep talking about what I'm talking about and not go into this Mike McCarthy thing that you just said.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, look, man, there's 2 things I want to touch. Number one, did you say earlier that Kelvin Joseph was out with illness again?
Yes, sir.
Like he was a couple weeks ago?
Yes, sir. He did not practice.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Because I think with Kelvin Joseph, I know everybody's confidence in him is a little bit low, but I'm still super high on Kelvin Joseph, mainly because of what he was coming in. Because, yes, it's a team game and everything, but you were a DB back in the day, and I was a wide receiver. You're more on your own island. Like, even if the team's getting whooped, but I'm beating you, you got to take that and know that I whooped you in the entire game, even though your team won and my team lost, right? So there's a thing where Kelvin Joseph, especially going into this Philly game since he's the second corner, there was 2 guys in that draft that he came out in that they had super short reports. Like, Bots would tell you that Rashawn Slater, hey, I whooped Chase Young. That's all you need to know. Report over. Kelvin Joseph was like, hey, in the height of Devontae Smith's powers and in his Heisman season, I smoked him for an entire game every time we were matched up. So I think that the potential is there, and yes, he's had his troubles and things of that nature that, can totally damage who a player is because of the mental side of things and how damaging what he went through can be to somebody. But I think it's still there, and if you give him a couple of games to kind of get his feet under him, which he has, assuming that he plays this week and next week, to kind of get get that confidence going, I think the potential is very, very high with him. And with in my second point, and I'll get out of your way, Tyron Smith, let's not forget what he was or who he is. And I know that he's been hurt a lot and he's not really been there, and we've had to deal with struggles, and we've seen him not play more than what we've seen him play. But let's not forget, because this last game they were showing highlights of Tyler Smith winning reps. Usually you didn't see Tyron Smith on the game except for the 1 or 2 times that he lost a rep. There's a complete difference between the level of play between Tyron and between what Tyler Smith has brought to left tackle. He's played well, but he's not on the same level. The reason I was saying it was 6 in the chat is just because it usually takes him a couple games, historically speaking, to get back up to that level coming off of injury. But like you said, he has extra rest, so I don't know what he's going to be, but if the reports are to be believed, then, hey, he's going to come out and be himself. Hey, then that 6 immediately goes up to an 8 or 9 for me as far as what he can do for this line.
Indeed, brother. I'm listening. I'm just trying to figure something out here, man. Got anything else for the show?
No, man, no, but you keep doing your thing. You're one of the best in the business. I'll follow you, and I'll watch you at 3 o'clock as well every single day, brother. So anybody who's not doing that and who doesn't know, catch them on the Voch Lombardi, the volume at 3 o'clock, and they'll bring you even more because now Scott does well by himself, and so does Voch. But when they can go off of each other, it takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, man, we kill it, man. Tag team champs.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, DJ.
Coming for you. All right, brother.
Don't mind me, Cowboys Nation. I'm trying to fix something up real quick. But on Kelvin Joseph, I don't. He had me in the second half, not the first half. Second half meaning, yeah, of course, we talk about this a lot. Having these games clearly is going to help him. But bringing up what he did against Devontae Smith in college, to me, means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Because I have not seen that Kelvin Joseph in the NFL. Those are just facts. That ball skill Kelvin Joseph has not been present. Now, can he get there? Possibly. But with all due respect to my guy, he can miss me with what he did to Devontae Smith in college. You know why? There's tape of him playing Devontae Smith in the NFL with Gardner Minshew. Devontae Smith did pretty decent against Kelvin Joseph. Now, they both were rookies, though. So, we'll see what happens in the rematch or what have you. And in the rematch, he'll have a couple games under his belt. Apologies, Cowboys Nation. But, yeah, he needs reps. That's clear. Clear as day. Let me see here. I got 3. All right, we'll keep it open for a quick second. Let's get to Phil to Trill. What's goody?
What's up, my boy? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
Doing good. I was telling my dad yesterday. I'm glad, not glad that Brown got hurt, but I want to see Calvin Joseph get more reps because I was telling him, just like with Diggs, if I'm not mistaken, Diggs, his rookie year, I don't think he started off starting, but I know for a fact he was getting caught on, and he was in good position most of the time. Same with Calvin Joseph. Every time he get caught on, he's always in good position. That's all you can ask for real.
Yeah, but I hear that, right? I totally hear the comparison because Diggs is playing for the Cowboys, and I understand the comparison. The difference, the complete difference is we saw high level skill sets on display for Trayvon Diggs in his rookie year. Now, Trayvon was thrown into the fire a lot sooner than Joseph did. We didn't listen. I like the tape from Kelvin Joseph last year, but I don't think it was close to Trayvon Diggs when it comes to the highs. Yeah. But I do like some of the coverage. I thought he was sticky last year in a lot of instances. But the comparison, I get it. Second round picks, they're Cowboys. They both they're having their struggles early in their career. But Diggs showed you some traits that was like, hey man, this kid can be special.
Right. I think as Calvin Joseph confidence get better with these next couple of games.
That's why I wanted to play. That's why I want him to play this week, bro. Get that confidence because Davis Mills is going to give you a chance.
That's the biggest thing when it comes to corner. You got to have confidence. I feel like him with his confidence up, those contested catches, they're not going to get caught. I think he just need more time getting used to it. That's all. But I do like how physical he is. He's not scared to tackle. If you notice Diggs, he kind of comes down. He'll play around with the block and kind of just dive at their legs.
We ain't about to throw Diggs under the bus and try to elevate Kelvin Joseph. We ain't doing that, bro. That ain't finna happen. You could talk about AB, but my All-Pro could be a little slight on tackling if he gonna get me 15 picks in 2 years. I don't give a damn.
I'm not tripping about Diggs not tackling because he a playmaker. I don't like
exactly.
I get irritated with Anthony Brown because he don't know how to turn his head and find the ball. He never turns his head and finds the ball. He always just put his hand up and look around. Like he don't got no ball skills to me.
I don't disagree. This year his ball skills have been pretty damn poor.
You said you do disagree?
I don't disagree. I think AB's ball skills have been poor this year.
Yeah, I think AB need to work on turning his head, getting his head around for sure. Because every time he get caught on, he's looking at the receiver.
AB's gone, so it don't even matter anymore with AB, right?
You're right. But no, I think the biggest thing for Kelvin Joseph is his confidence. I think as well as Malik Hooker getting better too. I think that helps him as well. The safety room.
I am really interested. You brought up Malik Hooker. I just thought about this as you said that. I wonder if they will play him a little bit more differently with Kelvin Joseph over there. That might help Kelvin Joseph, right? Like if they give him a little bit more safety help, now Kelvin can play a little bit.
Yeah. I would shade him over there and dare them to throw it to Diggs.
Right, I'm with you.
Now I'll make them try to throw it to Diggs if I was them, but and Bland's looking real good too. It's certain plays that you make as a rookie that like normal rookies don't make, like diving, interceptions. You can see every time the ball's in the air, his head's around. Regardless if he's getting caught on or not, he's looking for the ball. He's not just in bad position. So I think Bland's gonna take a next step couple weeks as well. I think playoffs, the young guys gonna be decent for sure.
And see, that's the other one, right? Like Bland and Diggs in their rookie seasons have shown you some traits that make you say, "Holy moly, guacamole." Right, like
sure.
like Bland's ball skills are crazy, and they were on display since training camp, right? And then in preseason, and then in his very first game, he had to start 30 minutes before kickoff, and then he did it again. Right. Like so, Bland is he's showing you some special things, man.
That's one thing I can say about our rookies. I was talking to my dad about Tyron Smith. He was telling me he don't like how you moving a player back and forth, but I told him we got versatile players. Same with Michael. You can move him around. You can do the same with Tyler Smith. You can do, I don't know if Bland can move in and outside, but I think he can. I feel like slot's harder than the boundary corner.
Sure. Yeah, he can.
Both. I definitely feel like
I think Joe Witt said it. Joe Witt said, yeah, he can do both. So
I feel like if you can play in the slot, you should be able to play outside unless you're small. That's the only thing I feel like you can play outside if you're small.
Yeah, I think it is a lot easier to go easier here. I'm not trying to say anything's easy in the NFL, but I think it's a smoother transition to go from inside out if you have the size and the physicality to do it, as opposed to outside in. Because a guy like Diggs is not playing slot. A guy like Nahshon Wright's not going to play a slot.
Yeah, no, because first off, they're too long, and second off, they can't just sit inside, man.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, like, I'm with you. I think it's easier to go inside out, man.
For sure. But now I'm gonna let you go. I just wanted to hear what you had to say on like the comparison with Kelvin Joseph and Diggs when Diggs was a rookie. Because I know Diggs was getting caught on, but he was always in good position to me. That's why I knew Diggs was gonna be a good corner.
Yeah, Diggs was, I think, a different, just different there. But appreciate your feel too, Trill.
All right, appreciate you. I'm gonna keep listening.
Yes, sir. I think they're different players. I think they play the game differently. I get it, the comparison. Cowboys, second round pick, struggles. But you saw the ball skills with Trayvon Diggs. We're still kind of waiting to see that with Kelvin Joseph. And I think it'll come. You know, it's just he just got to play a little bit more. But you know, you look at Diggs, look at Bland, and again, I looked at those two and was like, oh, we good. We're just waiting to see a little bit more from him. Let me lock these up. We're starting to get a bit heavy in here. I had a video. I'll wait till the right time to play it. Of Tyler Smith talking about the situation with Tyron returning, him playing guard, because he brought up versatility. Tyler brought up versatility and how it's helped him too. So we'll listen to that maybe later. Maybe we on a good time. Let's keep it moving. We got Reek, then 717. What's good, Reek?
What's going on, Sky? What's going on, Cowboy Nation? Yeah, we on the roll, man. Let's keep this train moving. Like I said yesterday, man, I think Kelvin Joseph is going to show us something, man. But I don't know where he keep getting these weird illnesses from. He was sick last week too, right?
A couple weeks ago against Minnesota. Going into that game, he was sick and then he came out. So
yeah, he better quit. He need to stay away from people, man. Isolate himself.
Yeah, this ain't
he in a prime position.
Yeah, this ain't the week to be missing the game.
Do something. Nah, he need to be out there. He need to make sure that he need to be on some Jordan flu stuff. I don't care if they got to hold him up, as long as he out there shitting himself down and tackling. Yeah. I'm cool with him. Cause this is your opportunity, man. Is you gonna waste it, or you gonna go for what you know and say, forget being sick. Give me all, shoot me up.
Yeah, because the last thing
I gotta be out here.
The last thing he wanted is to be like, well, shit, all right, Tyron Bland, go play on the outside, and then they throw McKenzie in there or something, and Bland just goes berserk. Like that's the last thing he wants.
Yeah, he need to understand his business opportunities, man. You know what I mean? Because there's an opportunity for him to change his life and his family life. He can't be thinking about no illness. And I got faith in the dude, man. As long as he all in on football, I got faith in him. You know what I mean? Because as long as he off that knucklehead stuff, man, and he all in and understand this is he getting opportunities right now. He could have been sitting somewhere he didn't want to be sitting at right now. And let's just see what we can do, man. I want, like you guys were saying, I want to go in here, blow these dudes out so we can see other players get on the field too. Because it was a good point made last night. I was listening to a show last night. Shout out to Boss and West Coast. They were saying last night that we might need to blow these dudes out so we can try to see put people like Tolbert on the field. You know what I mean? Get the ball in his hand, see what he can do. You know what I mean? Even if it's on reverses and stuff like that, just put the ball in the hand, see what this guy can do. Try to get Turpin on the field and throw it down the field. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cause we need to. If we can't get Odell, we need to see who's going to be this third to fourth wide receiver before these playoffs starts, and we need to be trying to ramp them up right now, because that makes sense. Because we was all eyes was on Odell getting him in here, but we ain't getting him in here no more. So if it's James Washington, the other guy from Cleveland that used to play with Odell, or either Turpin, Turpin or Tolbert, somebody need to be the fourth receiver on this team. You know what I'm saying? Just in case anything happens, we got to prepare ourselves just in case anything happens that we don't want to happen. God forbid happens down the line. You got to prepare yourself. Just like we got rotating offensive linemen, people that can switch and move around, we need to do that with the wide receiver room too.
I just would love to see them get Turpin involved, man. I mean, it's right there for you. You don't even got to blow nobody out to do that. Just get him incorporated. He's an actual asset. In regards to Tolbert, he's a rookie that's struggling to line up right. So I can not put him out there until it's a blowout. But Turpin, there's no excuses to not say, hey, go run a 9, go run a deep over, go press this post and make the safety take out the like. There's no excuses to not do that. So.
You know what? You know when I was thinking about Tolbert last week in that game is when Dak threw it up to Brown.
The conference has been unlocked.
Turpin out there on that deep route that he tried to throw to Brown, but he got the pass interference call. I think Turpin probably would have got around that dude and caught that ball for some reason, because there wasn't no safety help back there. You know what I'm saying? I think his speed he'd have caught that. And
the conference has been locked.
They need to test push the ball down the field a little bit more than certain, you know what I mean, like a person like Turpin with top speed, and see if he can go up under that ball and catch it and run in the end zone. I want to see it. I'm just being honest. But other than that, those guys, man, I think we in a good space. We just got to keep it moving, man. Let's not play with our food Sunday and knock these dudes out the water and keep it pushing. Because I'm telling them, all eyes to me is on that Philly and Giant game. People are counting out the Giants. I'm not counting them out because this is a division rival. And you know how them two like to tango. So
you mean the Giants? I thought you meant like Cowboys playing the Giants. I already played them twice.
Nah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about Philly and the Giants. I don't think it's going to be an easy one because the Giants want to get into the playoffs too, so I don't think they're going to give it to them easy. People think they're going to blow them out, just like people thought Philly was going to blow out the Colts. You see how that game went down to the last minute.
I'd give a damn if it's easy or not. I hope they win. I need the Giants to win. I don't care if they Philly won by a point, then they won. That's all that matters, right? We need the Giants to win that game.
Yeah, I want the Giants to win too, man.
Yeah,
because I want to see them. Yeah. I want to see them on Week 16 because I think it'll even everything up if they lose that damn game and we keep on winning. We get to play for that first round. But all right, Sky, I'm gonna holler at you, player. Peace, Cowboy Nation.
Appreciate you, Reed. Good stuff. Toxic wanted to call in. What's up, Toxic?
Man, Sky, all this hopium in here today has got my blood sugar spiked.
I knew this was coming. Usually I get you off of a loss, but what kind of toxic energy you got for me after the 54-19 dub? What we got here? Oh, yeah. So toxic, he messed the phones up. You. All right, Toxic. I tried to get you in here, man.
Can you hear me?
There he goes. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I got you.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry. I don't have Team AB. I'm sorry. So about that loss, I will just say I'm glad you can get away with that against a bad Colts team.
Wait. Let me tell you how toxic he is. He said about that loss. What loss? You mean the win?
I'm glad they won. I'm glad you beat Tin Man Matt Ryan and you beat Jeff Saturday, who was a TV analyst. Good luck doing that against Kyle Shanahan against good teams. I got to get rid of those slow starts, and I'll feel a lot better. That's just my only take. Because if we lose Wild Card Weekend, let's start a riot. But no, seriously, I want to win so bad that that's why I'm toxic. But my key takeaway today is about Kelvin Joseph.
All right.
And NFL reps are a commodity. And for people to be like, he needs more reps, what has he done to earn those reps? Because I look at this guy who we passed on better talent in the NFL draft for. He didn't show up his rookie year to voluntary OTAs. He didn't do all the necessary work. Preparation in the film room in the offseason is what leads to product on the field. All I have seen from Kelvin Joseph is bullshit. There is always something with Kelvin Joseph, hence why he was kicked off 2 college programs, marquee college programs, mind you, for these exact same issues. And if you look at some of the scouting reports about Kelvin Joseph and why he fell and was removed off boards, was because he relies on pure talent and that his work ethic and desire was not there. And I've seen this time and time again with the Cowboys. When you bet on these types of players, and has it worked? I mean, has it really worked?
I said, tell you, say why so serious. So I think when you say what has he done, I don't think anybody is saying he's done anything to get more reps. That's not. I would imagine that's not the question. The question is he needs them. Mm-hmm. Like he needs them to develop. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. He doesn't. Clearly, he hasn't done anything to earn them because he couldn't beat out Anthony Brown, right? And then in training camp, he was the 6th best corner. That's no joke. Diggs, Nashawn Wright, Deron Bland, Kelvin Joseph, J. Lou were all better than him in camp. So that's why he didn't earn them. That's why he didn't get those reps. But now he's going to get them because of injury. And he needs them. Let's just be completely honest. No matter how you feel about him as a person or whatever, as a developing football player, you do need to get those reps to become better on the field. Now, the film room, we talked about that yesterday, right? Where coach said, hey, we're still working on, or he said something along the lines of, we got to keep him alert and what have you in the film room, because that, to me, is going to tell me the ceiling, right? What was that quote we had a while back where it was your talent, I forgot what it was, but your talent sets the ceiling, or the standard, I guess your work ethic sets the ceiling. It's something along those lines. Where's that work ethic?
Yeah.
That's what we don't know yet, right? We don't know, is he putting in that extra work? I know last year he wasn't. He was out here making, music videos and whatnot, and, being a rookie and being wide-eyed, and I'm an NFL and relying on the talent, like you said. But is football important to him now? That's the question we don't know yet.
And I think that was a question that was already answered before we even submitted the card on draft day. I look at DaRon Bland, and I see he came in as a rookie and has put more work and dedication to his craft than Kelvin Joseph. DaRon Bland has earned a starting job.
100%.
Kelvin Joseph is being gifted a starting job. And that kind of, sorry to say it, loser mentality needs to stop in Dallas. I keep hearing about all these Super Bowls of the past and all of our past success. Well, that's
toxic. Stop. See, your toxic energy be taking over, bro. He's not being gifted a starting job, man. They didn't give it to him. They did not say, here, Kelvin, here's the starting job while AB was here. AB kept the starting job. AB got injured. What, you want to throw in Sheffield? Right. You want to show when they shine, right?
I am of the opinion when it comes to a team and a culture, if I'm a quarterback who has done more than Kelvin Joseph, like Josh Ball, and I've put on better tape, and I'm getting a starting nod if he plays because he's now all of a sudden sick. But if he's going into that game over me, and I've been busting my hump, and this guy's done what? Oh, he was second-round pick. Cool. I'm not a fan of that.
But toxic,
and that's the mentality I'm not a fan of.
Go ahead. Yeah, you said it's a loser mentality, brother. The starter got hurt. He's the fourth corner on the team, fourth or fifth, whatever it is, and now he has to play. So I don't think it's being gifted to him. I think he now has an opportunity. And if you listen to what Coach Dan Quinn said, yeah, he's got the first one. So that means we're giving you a shot. You don't go out here and take it. Well, then you can come right back here, sit on the bench, and we'll give it to somebody else. So, you're not wrong in some of the things you're saying, but I think your toxic energy is taking over kind of just the obvious situation right now, right? Like, the guy got injured. He has to play. And Josh Ball, what are we doing here? Josh Ball is the same dude that had issues coming out of college too. Issues that honestly I think were worse, but that's neither here nor there. I digress.
That's my only take. Maybe it's just because I see a lot of people in my line of work who are, and they just never amount to what they could be. And Kelvin Joseph, I'll give you this, his talent is off the charts. I wonder if even before he got here and the murder and everything like that, if something between the ears just wasn't ever going to be, I want to be a great NFL player. And if you don't believe me,
that's fair. Listen to
Tyler Smith talk and listen to Kelvin Joseph talk. That's my beef with. Go ahead.
No, I don't disagree. I think that was the issue, like you said, coming out of college. The scouting reports, everyone that went down, and mind you, I think that was in the following year from COVID year. So you really weren't getting a chance to go down there in COVID year to talk about Kelvin Joseph, because people look into these players years and years prior. That was the truth, man. He wasn't football first. It was clear as day. And you could argue all the way up until the murder situation, he wasn't football first. Now it's just about, all right, you're at the bottom of your life. Are you want to stay there, or do you want to claw back up and fight? And now he has an opportunity to show that. I think he is old. I don't use the word old. I think he, as a human, we're all allowed to try to come back from adversity in our lives. And now he has a shot to do it. And honestly, he was kind of doing that, right? From a special team standpoint. We were praising him. We're like, hey, man, Kelvin Joseph working his ass off on special team. They're loving him over there. He's taking this opportunity, knows I'm a second-round pick that's not playing corner. This sucks. But guess what? As a special team, I'm going to try to be the best special teamer on the team. And he was doing a fantastic job. Then last week he had a penalty. But now let's see if he can translate that same work ethic to the cornerback position, Toxic. That's all. Give him a shot. If it don't work out, hey, man, it'll confirm your priors.
Other than that, that's all I got. Go Army, beat Navy. Have a lovely weekend.
My man, appreciate you, Toxic. If that ain't a Toxic call, that is a 10 out of a 10 Toxic call, because Toxic is very smart. He said some great things there, but he also gave you that toxic energy, without a doubt. We got 2 more left on the horn. Before we do that, let's talk about Dubai Sky. 2-0, by the way, with Dubai Sky. In the U.S., more than 39 million men suffer from ED. Boston Scientific created edcure.org to help you find your best cure. To get started, go to edcure.org, take the quiz, and learn your severity or risk of ED. If you have a condition that puts you at a higher risk, they will find customized content for you. Fastest way to find your best cure is to contact an ED specialist by browsing a list of experienced physicians in your area. Visit edcure.org. It's not hard, but you can be.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
in front of the millions
Sky Khalifa
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
Ooh, Toxic want to fight everybody at the start. I just know you do. Ooh, wait. But what, L? What's good, Mendoza? Jared said Bland's the best slot on the team, better than J. Lou. Man, Bland, man. Army Mom wants to give Izzy a shot at the starting cornerback. He's playing good, man, as a safety. Oh, Toxic Joey. Toxic, did you start something here? We got Phil and Toxic Joey, Toxic Tom. What's going on here? Let's get back into the horns. We'll do 954, and I think we got Mel on. We're going to finish with Mel. I think that's Mel. What's good, 954?
How you doing, Sky? How you doing, Bomb Squad?
What's up with you?
This is actually Prince in the chat, and this is like Dub King Botch's chat. So I just want to say, talk to y'all.
Hold up real quick. Hold up so I can know. Right. Who is it from the chat?
Prince. Nigerian Prince.
Oh, Prince. All right. Nigerian Prince, the scammer. What's goody? Nah, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. You know, my uncle's in Nigeria, you know? We gotta hold it down. We gotta put food on our plate.
I can dig it.
But I just wanted to just talk about a couple of small points that you guys are bringing up. First thing was just about the Kelvin Joseph whole discussion that's going on. I mean, I get it, just because obviously we've had so many discussions on the fact that essentially Asante Samuel Jr. was on the board. He picked Kelvin Joseph. So a lot of people, because I see everyone online and everything talk about it like we could pick him instead of Kelvin Joseph. But at the end of the day, just like Stephen Joseph said, he's on the team. You know what I mean? So we got to give him reps. Like, my opinion is that I think he can play. It's just matter we just got to see it on the field. If not, just like you've been saying, we just move on. You know, we keep pushing, but give him a shot. So that's just the first thing. But one kind of point I want to throw to you, Sky, and I don't know if you or I know Bosch is in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw this, but one thing that came up to me was that when we had back in the day when we still had Garrett as coach, and we had Chris Richard as VP coach.
Yep.
There was like a weird, I don't know if it's a schematic thing, but with like Byron Jones, Cheeto, and AB, everyone was playing the ball. And they weren't getting the head wrapped around. Well, maybe not Byron Jones per se, but they weren't getting their head turned around when it comes to bouncing down the ball or anything like that. Do you think that is something that's really like
Let me correct.
bring over.
Let me correct you. They were playing the man in that scheme.
There we go. Correction.
Yeah, they weren't
Sorry
playing
about
the,
that.
Yeah, they weren't playing the ball. That was
they weren't playing the ball. You're correct.
Yeah, that
They're
was one of the
man.
issues.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I didn't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just something that was a schematic thing now, because nowadays, obviously, we have Dan Quinn, we have Al Harris, I believe. So now it seems like the people that were drafted, the Diggs, the Blaines, for example, they have more ball skills. So I don't know if is it just maybe like a teaching thing that the DBs are just playing them in more so and aren't getting the head around.
100%. It's a schematic, teaching, whatever you want to call it, situation. That was one of the talking points when Chris Richard came, and actually, the secondary improved in his first year to the point where people were considering, can Chris Richard be the head coach of this team? But then it kind of fizzled out because Chris Richard and Rob Marinelli came from two different schools of thought. It was like putting too many cooks in the kitchen. And you had a pass game coordinator, run game coordinator. Both was DC at the same time. It was weird. And then he just kind of lost his touch there with the Cowboys. But yeah, I think it's definitely a schematic thing. If you listen to, I'm mad I don't have the video anymore I put together of not Al Harris, but who was our safety coach now? Joe Witt Jr. If you listen, he's a secondary coach. You listen to Joe Witt Jr. speak. He is very, very, very detailed about how he wants his guys playing the ball, and it shows. I had a graphic up here. Everywhere that Joe Witt's been, for the most part, he's produced a high interception team because of the way he coaches his guys. I think something like 7 out of 10 years they were top 10. Maybe it was 8 out of 10 in interception percentage. So, it's 100%, I think, a coaching thing.
Fantastic. So 2 more small points. The first one is, I feel like this is an annoying narrative that we had, I think maybe last year, the year before, where we felt like, as we're getting into the playoffs, Kellen Moore's holding things in that playbook for the playoffs. I hope this is not the case, but truthfully, when it comes to Turpin, it just, like you've been saying, it really makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
And for whatever reason, it makes us feel like maybe that's something that he's trying to hold, close to the chest for the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know what your take is when it comes to that.
No, I'm with you. It makes no sense. I mean, obviously, I'm not there at practice. Maybe Turpin sucks, right? Maybe he can't catch or something, but I saw him make plays in training camp or whatever. I did this last year. I ain't doing it no more. I got last year. They're holding plays, man. Yeah, we're going to wait to the playoffs, and Kellen Moore is going to release all these plays. Man, he got to the playoffs and was worse. So I'm not doing that. Maybe Turpin's just not part of this offensive game plan, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That's where I'm at right now too. I just wanted to bring it up. And the last real point I want to make was more about McCarthy. I know that you guys were talking earlier about, if we get to the playoffs and lose in the wild card, there's going to be a discussion to be had. And obviously, if he makes the NFC Championship, then his job is at least safe for the year.
Yeah.
The question I had really, or the thought I had really, is more so, obviously, when we had Garrett this whole time, and he had a various good teams, bad teams under his tenureship. The fact is, to me, at least what I've seen, is that McCarthy, even with all of the coaching decisions, I guess you can say, in game, I feel like as a whole he's been more productive when it comes to getting the team up and being able to play, getting the team up and having them play better with less, right?
Yes.
When it comes to
100%.
Dalton, when it comes, right. So I feel like overall it's been a net positive from a coaching standpoint, even with all those schematic kind of deficiencies that he's had here and there. So for me, I know that even in the wild card, my expectations are, we should at least get to the divisional championship, at least as a C, in my opinion. But I think that from a coaching standpoint, even if they get into the wild card and they have that discussion, I feel like he's done enough where it could warrant maybe one more year. I just want to get your thoughts when it comes to that, just that little point.
No, I don't. I think he's a better coach than Jason Garrett, point blank, period. But yeah. I don't disagree. I think that it warrants a discussion, but it doesn't warrant a firing. That's what I was trying to make a point about earlier. You do have to take into account everything that he's done over the first 3 years here in Dallas and dealing with what he has to deal with here in Dallas. And if you get trounced in round one, my hope is that it motivates this front office to say, damn it, all right, let's go out here and let's go for the damn jugular. Let's just do it because there's no what else can we do? You know what I'm saying? What else is there to do? You get the best defense, you got one of the top offenses, and it's still not working. So it may even fall back on them as opposed to the coach, but it all depends how they come out, bro. If they come out like they did in 49ers, then I don't know if I want a coach that can't get these guys ready to play in the playoffs. But yeah, good call though, bro.
I just agree. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you guys at 3-ish.
Yes, sir. Good call. Richard McDaniel says, Sky, how can you say Nahshon was better in camp than Joseph? They need to ban your ass for that comment. Richard McDaniel, let me ask you a question. Were you at training camp? Saw 3 weeks worth of training camp, sir. God damn it, he was better than Kelvin Joseph at training camp, sir. That's how I could say it. This isn't even a debatable thing. Anybody that was down there, any insider, anybody that knows anything about the game that was down there will tell you, yeah, Nahshon Wright was better than Kelvin Joseph in training camp. So there. That's how I can say it. Mel.
King Sky, what up, big bro?
What's good, family?
All right, look, I was calling to defend Kelvin Joseph. And then, am I echoing?
Nope, you're good on my end.
Oh, okay. So I was calling to defend Kelvin Joseph. And then Toxic got on and I said, damn, I think I'm toxic now because I ain't going to defend Kelvin Joseph no more. He cooked everything I was about to say. So I said, all right, you know what? I think I was just talking about Tyron then. Yeah, man. Yeah, that he kind of cooked my argument. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to just leave the Kelvin Joseph thing alone, and we just have to wait and see.
It pretty much is a wait and see with Kelvin Joseph, man. I think we all want the same thing, though, right? Like we all want Kelvin Joseph to succeed at the end of the day.
Yeah, we want all our guys to succeed, man. We want all our guys to succeed. So I'm going to jump on the Tyron thing and why I gave it a lower rating than maybe some of the other people and where I was coming from with it. At the time when Tyron got hurt, we were all just kind of saying, well, that's probably it for Tyron. You know, that was kind of what was going around, you know, within our Cowboy community.
Facts.
Was, all right, this is probably just going to be it for Tyron. Now that he is coming back, I'm not necessarily just jumping all the way back in with 2 feet on Tyron because I just don't have the faith that he just going to stay healthy. Like, I just don't have the faith.
Well, can I talk you off the bridge?
Over the past, I would love for you to.
Can I talk you off the bridge? All right, let me talk you off the bridge, Mel. If this was 2017, 18, whatever, right? And Tyron Smith goes down the way he goes down, and you're now having to throw in Chaz Green. Cam Irvin was pretty decent. Or who's the other cat that was again at Green Bay game? He was not good. Cam Fleming? Fleming. I think Fleming was the dude.
Yeah, Cam Fleming.
Cam Fleming. And then this injury happens to Tyron, and that's your guy. 9 times out of 10, he's probably not going to play good as Tyler Smith, right? Now you're like, Tyron Smith's coming back, but man, I do not feel good because he's probably going to get hurt again, right? But here's the thing. If Tyron comes back and he gets hurt again, who cares? Tyler Smith has shown that he can play out there. Jason Peters has shown that he can play out there. So this is just a luxury, and one of the best luxuries you can possibly have. Also, it now that's a domino effect. He knocks down Tyler Smith, the guard, which improves the guard spot. So on one hand, yeah, it's fair to say, man, he might not play for but only 2 or 3 games. But if you had to go back to Cam Fleming, this is frustrating that we got to rely on Tyron Smith. I don't think you're relying on Tyron Smith.
I got what you're saying.
Feel me?
Yeah. You're not handcuffed to him.
No.
To where you don't have any other options.
So it's like if I get Tyron on the field, I know he's going to be good because if Tyron's on the field, he's at minimum good. At minimum. But if he's going to be good, he's going to be good, right? So, but if he's not on the field, I got 2 other guys that can do just fine out there. So that's my talking you off the bridge about Tyron Smith. Hopefully it worked.
Yeah, I think if the question is, are you happy that Tyron is returning? Yes, I am. If I have faith that Tyron will play deep into the playoffs? No, I don't. Yeah, only because that's what the history has shown me.
Yeah, that would be a different question. Yeah, that's why I didn't pose it that way. My question was posed as your confidence level that Tyron will improve. I think I have the question still here. Improve the offensive line. Where is it at? Okay, your confidence level in Tyron being an asset and improving the offensive line. That was the question.
And I immediately read, what is your confidence in Tyron? And that confidence level.
Yeah, that's an open question. Yeah, that's an open question. My confidence level in Tyron, right. What? Playing 10 games, playing till the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, that opens up a different discussion. That's why I just said, is he an asset in his return? Because actually the amount that he plays to me does not matter.
I agree with that. It doesn't matter because at the time that he's able to play, your team is better.
Right. And then if
the time that your team is able to play, your team is better.
Correct. And then if he doesn't, you know that I could still be the number one offense with Jason Peters or Tyler Smith out there.
Exactly. My last one, man, is on McCarthy. I feel like a lot of people may have been on McCarthy's head early on, but I'm gonna say this season he's really, really earned, and he should have already earned the nation's respect.
Right.
But he should really have it by now. And I'm gonna say, because we talk about this all the time, Sky. We want the coaches and the players to overcome this front office.
Yeah.
We want them to overcome the front office. And for since 1996 or whatever that year was, nobody's been able to do that. Nobody's been able to put together back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you look at who they played or whatever, he has definitely brought a confidence level to our team to where we're going in this week and we're going, hey, we should blow these guys out. Not, hey, hopefully we can get a win this week. So McCarthy definitely has earned my respect. And I kind of feel like, I don't want to say regardless of what happens in the playoffs, he should be back. We have to see what happens in the playoffs first. You know what I mean? Like, we really just got to wait and see. But my confidence level in McCarthy coming back is very high. I love the way that he's been able to pivot this season. We didn't go out and get any top free agents. We cut our best wide receiver.
Yeah.
Or we traded our best wide receiver.
His biggest contribution might have been putting that hand around Kellen Moore's neck.
Around Kellen Moore.
And say, listen, man.
And pivoting this whole thing.
Yeah. I'm going to keep saying it. If something special happens, that press conference needs to be put in that package. It needs to be.
Yeah. Because Kellen, I don't want to say he does not want to run this offense the way it's being run, or he doesn't want a ball control offense. But this is not his first choice to run the ball 30-plus times a game. That's not his first choice.
No.
And Kellen has said that.
To his credit, Kellen wants to be creative, and he thinks that he has to be creative via the pass. So what he did was he said, all right, if I can't be creative out of 3 wide, 4 wide, whatever, then I got to figure out how to do it out of 12, 13, and 14. So to his credit, he has pivoted to being more creative in that instance. So we'll see if that continues.
Definitely to Kellen's credit. I don't think Kellen has done a horrible job. I would like to see him get rid of a few things, but he's improved just how everyone else has. He's improved just how everyone else has. I'm a big critic of Kellen. You're a big critic of Kellen, but we're not so married to our thoughts,
right?
Or what we said earlier that we're not going to give somebody credit.
Not at all.
Kellen has definitely improved. But man, I'm gonna wrap it up, bro. I'm not gonna stare too long. It's been good to tap in with you. I ain't been on with you in a minute, man. So it was good to tap in with you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And everybody, make sure you like the content. You subscribe on your way out. Like it on your way out. and tap in later on with Steele and Vosh, man.
Appreciate you, Mel. As always, good stuff. And hit me up on Twitter. Yeah, I'm definitely not above saying, hey, yeah, this guy's doing well. I didn't know what he would do, et cetera, et cetera. And we've been kind of all year. I mean, you've seen the shows. Some of the shows are actually titled In This Duffel and things like that. We've featured all year where there's been improvement offensively from Kellen, from a schematic standpoint, and where there needs to be improvement offensively. But I think I'd go out on a limb, and maybe it's not even a limb, but I'd say he is better this year than he was last year. You could argue that's because of Mike. You could whatever the hell I don't care what it is, but he is doing better this year. Still things to kind of figure out as we get to into the postseason stretch, right? Like, you got a lot of things to put in the bag. Put the right ones in there and let's boogie. But I think he's done better. Good stuff today. Good stuff. What's up, Smoke? He says, Sky, know how good Izzy is. He had a whole show about him, bro. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know which one you're talking about, Smoke, but appreciate you. We do 5 shows a week, right? We likely cover every single thing on this team from top to bottom. I guess the conversation in here is it still Izzy going to corner? I just think he's been, he's transitioned to safety pretty damn well this year, putting on, an extra, I don't know how many pounds he put on, but you could tell he's more physical. So I'll be interested to see Izzy continue to stay at safety and hone in there, because you got him for 2 more seasons for the free. And next year will be the last season of the 2 guys, J-Ron and Malik Hooker. What if you don't bring them back? Izzy can step right in. Maybe you extend Izzy after next year for cheap. A lot to do there. Let him kind of gather himself there. And if it don't work out with Kelvin, you draft a cornerback or sign one. Good stuff today. Let me make sure I don't miss any supers before we get up out of here. Nope, we good to go. We are good to go. Great calls. Y'all killed the phone lines today in a good way. We ain't have no ET moments. Good stuff in the chat. Oh, Toxic, listen, brother. I don't think you will ever drag me over to that far. Now, you might get some of that energy out of me during free agency. You might get some of that energy out of me after, if there is a loss in the postseason, you might get that initial reaction out of me. But boy, Toxic ready to hit him with an elbow drop. Hey man, I say it all the time to people that get upset at fans who are upset. I said, but you gotta understand, right? Like you gotta understand the frustration. I understand. I feel you. No, we don't want Toxic Sky. Angry Sky is enough. Durag Sky is enough. We don't want to do Toxic Sky. We don't want to go that far. Petty Sky, oh, that's cool. Not toxic. Hit that sub button on the way out if you are not subscribed to this wonderful morning show here. I started this morning show last year and said, I want to aim for this to be the best Cowboys morning show there is out there. I don't know how many other ones there is. But due to you guys being here every morning, I think we are on our way, if not there. So now I have a standard to hold, and I will continue to try to hold that standard. And if you can dig it, hit that like button, subscribe, be a part of this community. I said it yesterday, even if you don't want to be a part of the chat community, that's fine. You just being here, a viewer, a subscriber, a supporter, is being a part of this community. You are part of the Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad! Later, if you will, Bomb Squad. And you know what's crazy? We didn't even get to the Texans. I got Texans stuff lined up, so we'll push it to tomorrow. See, this works out perfectly. Friday, we'll talk about the Texans defense, maybe do some bold predictions. I don't ever do bold predictions, but it's the Texans. Maybe we'll have some fun, do some bold predictions on Friday. But later, Mo will be back on. Final show of the week, A to Z Sports Prime Time. Make sure y'all check him out. I will also be back on Vosh Lombardi Live over on The Volume. Check us out. Not allowed to miss shows. That needs to be a shirt, Fox. We need to get that. Not allowed to miss shows. Volume. Man, so much good stuff over there. Yesterday, somebody got a little upset, got in their feelings. But hey, I know what you got to get into when you're coming over there. Yeah, so check me out there. Look, if you want to holler at me on Twitter, you can. It's scrolling down there at some point. The DFW turf ticker at Skywalker Still. Make sure y'all link up with me there. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys today, man. Good stuff. Good talk today. Tomorrow we'll dive back into the Texans because you do got to respect your opponents. I totally understand that. But damn it, it's the Texans. What we do? 110-1. Davis Mills and his neck coming to Dallas. Was it King Element said he don't ask his girl for neck because he got enough of it? I'm out. Bye. Love y'all.